In a dingy torture room, a kidnapper plasters a man's face. He then injects some liquid into the victim's body with one tube, and as the liquid enters the man's body, blood comes out on the other end. The victim spasms in pain until his demise. The kidnapper grabs an axe to rip out the plaster covering the man's head. Now, the kidnapper starts selecting another victim. He has several paper clippings with the name Jennifer and a number on them. Elsewhere, Jennifer Tree puts on makeup for her photo shoot. She is a successful model, and her photographs are on the covers of magazines and public buses. After the shoot, she decides to meet a friend at a club. She dresses up and takes her dog with her. In the apartment's parking lot, Jennifer senses that someone is following her. She looks around but sees no one, so she gets into her car and drives off. Her date cancels, so Jennifer decides to finish her drink and head home. Unbeknownst to her, someone has spiked her drink. She starts feeling woozy and goes to clean up in the restroom. Suddenly, a shadow moves behind her, so she goes to investigate. In the hallway, she sees a tripod with a camera. She walks toward the camera, which shows a recording of her earlier at the bar. Suddenly, someone grabs her from behind and drugs her. The kidnapper drags Jennifer into his car while taking several pictures. Jennifer wakes up in a room overlooking the beach. She approaches the window, but to her horror, it turns out to be a projected image that vanishes, leaving her in a cold, dark room. She realizes that the room has her belongings taken from her apartment. She makes a ruckus, throwing everything down in frustration while calling her kidnapper names and demanding to be released. On one end of the wall, she sees 4 doors. Suddenly, a cupboard drawer opens, prompting Jennifer to investigate. She finds a glass with a suspicious liquid in it. Jennifer throws away the glass, and a gas fills the air, rendering her unconscious. She finds herself on a metal examination bed, with her feet and hands bound. Before her is a recording of another woman pleading with the kidnapper to spare her life. Jennifer watches in terror as a shower faucet drips acid into the woman's body. As this is happening, the kidnapper does the same to Jennifer, and she screams as the acid pours on her face. Jennifer wakes up in her captive room with a bandaged face. She walks toward a mirror to check the damage, quickly realizing that her body is intact. She has a scar on her cheek, but that turns out to be fake too. Another drawer opens, and Jennifer finds a magazine with her picture on the cover and a key to door one. She unlocks the door and retrieves some clothes and a teddy bear. The door slams shut just as a white noise with a deafening sound fills the room. The sound ends but comes back when Jennifer tears the clothes. She hides from the light under her bed and stumbles upon a nail file. She uses it to unlock the air vent, and she climbs up just as the TV starts playing one of her old interviews. As she ventures inside, her kidnapper starts cutting through the metallic walls. Jennifer sees a camera recording her in the vent, and the kidnapper grabs her arm and drugs her. When she comes, she is in the torture room, bound to the bed. The kidnapper grabs a few human pieces and blends them. He then shoves a funnel in Jennifer's mouth, prompting her to drink the bloody human juice. Later, the kidnapper wipes Jennifer's bloody lips with a cotton swab and licks them. As Jennifer sleeps in her room, it's revealed that the kidnapper has many hidden cameras that document her every move. Jennifer is contemplating her situation when she sees someone making a light signal on the wall. She walks towards the light as someone carves, "Who are you?" on the glass wall. Jennifer grabs the key from earlier and responds that she has been held captive as well. The lights go out, but the other captive gives her some matches through the vent for communication. His name is Gary, and he has been held captive for 2 days. Gary and Jennifer start communicating frequently, wondering whether they will make it out alive and why they were captured. Gary scratches the glass paint, so now he and Jennifer can see each other clearly. Jennifer explains that all the torture she has gone through relates to the interview she has given. She remembers being captured at the club. It's now 3 days after Jennifer's abduction, and the police have no leads on her disappearance. Another drawer opens, and Jennifer peeps in to see a box of matches. There is a glass full of sand and the hangman card inside. She tries to grab the matches, but the drawer slams shut, causing her to fall back into the arms of her kidnapper, who drugs her. Something falls on Jennifer's body, waking her up. She quickly realizes that she is in a glass box filled with sand. She screams for help, getting Gary's attention. With a few seconds to spare, Gary escapes his room and grabs Jennifer before she suffocates. The two find themselves in a crawl space under someone's house, while the kidnapper grabs a rifle and starts chasing after them. The couple barricades themselves in a garage while the kidnapper fires at the door. They find a car, and Jennifer starts the engine. Gary gets in the car and drives out of the garage. Unfortunately, breaking through the garage door triggers an alarm that traps the car and releases gas that knocks them out. Jennifer wakes up in the torture room with her hand tied to a rifle. Her dog, Susie, is on the rifle's end while another rifle aims straight for her head. A card tells her to choose who will die between her and Susie in 30 seconds. Jennifer's survival instinct kicks in, and she kills Susie, feeling sick when blood spills on her face. Back in her room, the kidnapper tortures her by showing her video recordings of her dog. Jennifer seeks comfort in Gary, just as another key leads her to a change of clothes. The doors between their rooms open, and the couple rushes toward each other, relieved that they are both real. The kidnapper turns off the light and plays a torture video on the TV. Gary starts destroying the cameras, prompting the kidnapper to come in and shoot him in the leg. Later, Jennifer finds herself in the torture chamber while one of her hands is bound to Gary's. The TV shows a tape of the kidnapper stabbing his mother to death, as she used to molest him when he was a little boy. The kidnapper wants to remove her tooth, but Gary volunteers to save her. The two are thrown into a room. Jennifer comforts Gary for his pain, and the two end up getting intimate while the kidnapper watches. After Gary discovers that Jennifer has drunk drugged water. Surprisingly, Gary walks toward the door, revealing a keyhole and exiting the room. He meets the other kidnapper and his big brother, Ben. Gary was the kid in the video who stabbed his mother. The two constantly kidnap women, torture them for several days, and then execute them. Gary reveals that he doesn't want to murder Jennifer because she is different, and he has fallen in love with her. Ben chides Gary for letting feelings come between what they do. However, Gary grabs a knife and eliminates him, apologizing for his actions. Two detectives knock on the door, asking for Ben. They have traced his catering company to the night of Jennifer's abduction. Gary says his brother is away, but the detectives ask him to come into the house and wait for Ben while they watch the game. While changing channels, one of the detectives discovers Jennifer's recording. Before he can react, Gary approaches them and kills them with a rifle. He rushes down to the basement to retrieve Jennifer. He urges her to hurry, as he has eliminated their two captors. Jennifer quickly follows Gary upstairs. She asks to call the police for help, but Gary asks her to wait while he destroys the video recordings the captors have taken. Gary destroys the phone lines. Meanwhile, one of the detectives approaches Jennifer. He reaches for his gun, prompting Jennifer to kill him with a baseball bat. Gary comes back and reassures Jennifer that she did what had to be done. He takes her to a room, instructing her to stay put until he returns. Jennifer sees some files with female names on them. She grabs the one with her name. Horror dawns on her when she realizes that Gary is one of her captors, as they recreate the horrors their mother subjected them to, and then document them in a comic book. Jennifer runs all over the house looking for a way out, but all the windows and doors are sealed shut. Desperate, she searches for the detectives downstairs, but Gary catches her. Jennifer agrees to help him clean up, saying that she belongs with him. While Gary is distracted, Jennifer sprays his face with bleach and rushes to the torture rooms. She destroys the house's electrical system and sets a trap for Gary. Gary falls for the trap, allowing Jennifer to grab his rifle. She tries to shoot him, but the rifle clicks. Gary grabs the rifle, explaining that Jennifer should have cocked it first. He is about to kill her when Jennifer hits him where the sun doesn't shine and grabs the gun. She shoots him on his manhood and twice more, telling him thank you for the gun lesson. Jennifer shoots at a glass with her picture on it, discovering a window. She exits the house and walks down the street, having conquered her demons. Do leave a comment telling us your favorite part of the movie. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next recap.